You are about to find out so much more about me. Ready for it? Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for being here. Have I got a treat for you? I am about to spill all the tea, all the dang tea, on myself. I am so excited for this video. I've been thinking about doing something like this for a while. I've been putting off, and lo and behold, the perfect opportunity came up to actually get it done. It is now the 1-year anniversary of the 8 pen questions tag. It was a tag started by pen enthusiast and must-watch YouTubers, may I say, Simone and Leanne Likes. Now, just so you know, this video will be more chatty than my regular demonstrator videos of pen inks, pen reviews, and ink swatching. So, fair warning. But I do hope you stick around till the end because it's all about Grace. Okay, question number 1. When and how did your fountain pen journey begin? My first pen was a Schaefer. I was 12 years old. I'd actually started journaling in earnest at that time because I had a 9-year-old brother who irritated the heck out of me. Hey, Andy. And I needed a place to put my 12-year-old angst and frustration. But my true fascination, could you call it an addiction? Yeah, you can call it an addiction, yeah. Anyway, my true fascination with fountain pens turning into a hobby didn't actually start until years and years later. Back in 2013, I remember being in a stationery store when I saw a fountain pen. I was looking for notebooks and I saw a fountain pen and it reminded me of home. It reminded me of writing in my journal, my you know those journals that they had a lock on them? That's what I remember. And the pen that I saw was a Platinum Preppy. Here it is. I still have it. I don't think I'll ever give it up. And after that, I got more inexpensive pens. But I really thought I had hit the jackpot one day when I saw the Lammies locked up in a cabinet. Locked up in a cabinet, y'all! There and then, I bought this. Oh, Blue Lammy. I love that pen. I loved it so much, a month later, I bought one in red. I used both of these pens only with cartridges for a couple of years, actually. I had no clue about bottle inks back then either. Oh my goodness, I missed out on so much. Anyway, and then I stopped writing with fountain pens. I just stopped. In 2022, I remember looking for a way to be more creative again. Everything I was doing was for and about my business. So I started searching the internets, and that meant watching many creative artists on YouTube. When the dang algorithm started showing me pen videos. So I clicked on one. Then I watched another, and another, and another. That's how I got started down this road again. That's how I got started down this rabbit hole of fountain pen insanity. Fountain pen goodness. Fountain pen goodness. Let me just rephrase it. That made me want to acquire more. So I guess you can say YouTube made me do it. I'm putting it, the platform is solely to blame for this iteration of my pen hobby. YouTube is your fault. Okay, question number 2. Let's see. Favorite inks in the beginning, and what are your go-to inks now? Favorite inks in the beginning. I didn't really have any favorite inks in the beginning because this is like the 3rd iteration of it. And because remember, I only started with cartridges, and you kind of got the colors you got. This time around, this latest iteration, I dived right in buying something called samples. Who knew? It fed that gotta have it beast perfectly because it meant I didn't have to invest in lots of bottles right away. And that's kind of the theory I still hold true to. Most people probably do. I did, however, invest in 2 bottles of Noodler's Base Date, one in red, one in blue. And I have since put both of them on the back of the shelf because, yeah, not a fan. The staining with that blue pen, that blue ink was horrendous. So I won't be using it. And then I discovered the magic sorcery of shimmer inks. Oh, I could not believe I would get to write with bits of sparkle. And I'm not a sparkle person. I'm not. Trust me. I haven't gone down the road of trying to find out who or which brand was the first to experiment with shimmer in the inks. But I gotta say, thank you very much, whoever you are, because we love you. We love you. Brands I gravitate to are definitely Diamine. God, I have a lot of those. Pilot and probably Sailor. I find most of their inks, their standards very, very stable. I remember making the statement back in November that I think I want to own every Diamine ink they offer. I've since amended that statement. I do not need everyone. It was something acquiring 25 new inks in December with the Inkvent calendar. I actually think the Inkvent calendar is a wonderful thing, but I just got 25 new inks. So I repeat, I do not need to own all of them. I just don't. I have to say there's a go-to ink. I know they can be a headache to clean out of pens, but right now I am loving the glistening quality shimmer inks gives to my writing. I love seeing that. Plus, I've also learned to put them in pens that can take it without leading to so much clogging, like my Twisbees. So shimmer inks is probably what I'd say. There will probably come a time when I will say enough, but that time is not right now. It is not right now. What has changed? What has changed slightly, I think, are the colors I gravitate towards now. Greens and, strangely enough, purples. If you knew my dislike for anything purple in my life, because my daughter took it over, saying strangely enough makes sense. But I love a purple ink. I really love a purple ink now. Alrighty. Question 3. How have your ink and pen tastes changed over time? Let's do pens first. I mentioned in a recent video that I find that I'm actually more discerning now with the pens I choose to bring into my collection, which is good. So I think that my pen tastes have changed. They've definitely changed. I remember at the beginning of this journey wanting everything. I mean, this latest journey, wanting everything. Give me all the pens. All on the lower end of the spectrum for sure. And now I know what I like and what I don't like, what I want and what really doesn't interest me in the least. At one point, I thought that was Benu. If you haven't seen that video, I invite you to go and watch it because your girl. This last year though it's given me insight into who I am as a fountain pen owner, who I am as a fountain pen enthusiast, and who I am as a writer of fountain pen, a journaler. These 3 different aspects or characteristics of this fountain pen hobby, they all play a role in what I search out and eventually what I acquire. And I think it goes directly to how my pen tastes have changed. First thing is my hand. Because I realize my grip can be a bit tight, I know I prefer a girthier pen, like my Leonardo or my Jinhao X159. It helps me manage the grip, the tight grip I have. Also, one or more of my currently inked pens are larger pens. They're always in rotation each month. And the second thing is about nibs. What matters for me most is being able to create and replicate a good writing experience. Now, with that said, I now know that extra fine nibs are not for me. There's too much feedback. There's way too much feedback. I find that feedback from certain extra fine nibs, and it's not all of them, it actually irritates my system, and then that in turn interferes with the writing experience. Have you ever heard of the term misophonia? I think it best describes the feeling I get with very scratchy nibs. Who knew, right? Who knew? And of course, right now, I'm ready to experiment with different nib grinds now that I know what my taste in nibs are, right? Plus, knowing that I like closer to buttery smooth nibs is just better for me. It just helps me figure out what I want. As for inks, I don't know that my taste has changed necessarily. Maybe it's expanded. Maybe expanded is a more apt way to describe it. I still love saturated colors. I've always loved saturated colors, but I'm definitely not a fan of light inks. I now know so much more than I ever did before about inks, especially compared to 2013, where I was only aware of cartridges. Oh, the poor person I was who only knew about cartridges. All right, question number 4. Are there inks and pens that you have yet to try? You know what? Yeah, there's quite a few that I haven't tried yet. I know I want to try Dominant Industries. I love the bottle. The bottle looks like a light bulb. I just love the bottles. That's not the only reason I want to try Dominant Industries. They really have some good inks. I also want to try Vinta. Vinta sounds intriguing to me. The two that I'm looking at are Malayan Apple Macopa and Harlequin Bodabil. I love those names. So very different. So many others. Oh, and I cannot forget Wearing Ghoul. Captain Hook, anyone? And TikTok Croc. I want them both. As a matter of fact, I think I have one of each. I have each one in separate carts in separate stores. I don't know why I have that. I've also begun collecting Birmingham Pen Co. inks, because I heard a long time ago that they're really good for mixing together and creating your own ink. So that's something I want to do this year, definitely. As for pens, I feel like this past year, let's say, has been one of pen experimentation. I went beyond my own comfort zone, I think, in what I thought I would like. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. My first Benu, maybe my only. We'll see. I'm so not a glitzy person, but what can I say? I think that pen is gorgeous. This year, I also want to start dipping my toe into bespoke pens. So 3 custom makers I'm looking at now. Walltown Pens. I keep going to their Etsy shop and having a scrounge around and looking. I haven't seen the pen. I actually saw one pen, and by the time I went back, it was gone. So lesson learned. Don't be doing that. If you like a pen, get it. But I haven't seen any since. The other one is Sean Designs, I forget which one it is. They are known for their Pocket 6 pens, but I actually want to try one in their full-size lineup of anodized pens. I think the pens are actually so different, so very different. I don't have a pen like it, so I think I want to put Sean Design on my wish list. And the third maker I'm looking at, and I put this pen on my wish list, is from, let me not mess up the name, Drewnev Pisane. And I think that's the name. It's a Polish pen manufacturer. The pen I'm looking at is the Orion Spring Magic Garden. I just love the whole name and all. Oh, it's so good. I think that pen is divine. And I still love a white pen, y'all. Still love a white pen. Also, I'm looking forward to going to pen shows. I know I'll go to the one in my city, and I would love to go to at least one other this year, so I can try different new to me nibs to try the grinds, because I really want to start trying grinds, pen grinds, different pen grinds again, as if I've tried them before. I haven't. My first pen show was last year in July, and I only did one pen show. And what I realized is I had no clue and I had no plan. That will not be happening this year. So, okay, I think that's it for this question. Question number 5. What is your Holy Grail pen? Now, I have a handful of pens on my wish list. I told you about some of them just now. Those pens are more budget friendly, so they can go on a wish list. And the most recent on that wish list that I didn't talk about actually was my platinum chai. I don't have this pen yet. Platinum chai latte. I got this one. This is the platinum 3776 in Bourgogne. And I love this pen. It has a soft fine nib. I love this pen. And I saw someone talking about the chai latte. And it's unlike, I'll put a picture of it here. It's unlike any pen I would probably gravitate towards or be attracted to. But then again, I was attracted to the Benut too. So yeah, we're not holding out a hope on being straight shooting arrow here. But on my grail list actually is a pen that feels to me like a sleeper. I've seen no one talk about it on YouTube, on Discord, or any Reddit groups I'm in. And my pen budget will not allow this. Why it's on my grail list is because my pen budget will not allow it. But there's something about this pen that's so dang gorgeous. It's called the Otto Hut D07. I'm assuming that's design 7, but with the gold trim. I think this pen is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm definitely drawn to it. And then there's the other thing that's on my gray list is the Santini Italia Libre collection. There's a few I wouldn't mind owning, the Pompeii, the Crystal, or the Citron. The one I really liked, which I think is called Nut, I think that's been sold out, so I'll have to look for a second pre-owned one at some point down the line. I actually, though, I have a nib on my grail list. I talked about Sean Design pens before. I have found out that Sean Design has designed a nib, and that it's called the Monarch Titanium. It's an in-house nib that they designed, created, manufacture. And basically, it's an integrated nib and feed system. And the nib is actually cut from a rod of titanium rather than a flat sheet and then molded around. And it's inserted into, the feed is inserted into there. And it's a feed that they, I think it's a proprietary feed that they put together. And oh my gosh, oh my goodness, I think I want this nib. And although I like their pens, I really love this nib. I want this nib. The construction is phenomenal, top of the line. Apparently it can be used in any number 6 Yovo compatible pen. Not sure how much of that is true. I'd love to find out. But the reason it's actually on my grail list is because it retails for, get this, $380 USD. It's not a nib I will be getting anytime soon, but a girl can dream, can't she? Okay, let's get to the next question. How many pens, yeah, this is the one. How many pens do you currently own? So, now that that's the question, 6 to 8 months ago, I would not hesitate to count how many pens I have. But I gotta tell you, when I saw this question, I was hesitant to do that count. And part of that is because I now own a pen storage tray or drawer with 5 drawers in it. And they're, to house my growing collection. Yes. I did do a Top Pens 2023 collection video. And although I talked about each of my pens, I never did do an actual count of them because I was too scared to know the actual number. Truth be told, there you go. That's the truth of it. So how many pens do I actually own? I counted them. A measly 31. Just 31. Granted, 11 of them are Jinhaos that I purchased for my currently inked, my October 2023 currently inked Jinhao experiment. Come to think of it, that's not a lot, is it? That's really not a lot. What was I getting anxious about revealing that number? I don't know. That number, by the way, is just the pens I keep in rotation. There are a few pens I own, and I've decided I won't be using them again. I've heard the term, some people say I've retired them. I've retired them. I think that's what these are. They're the ones that I bought when I picked up the pen hobby again. Those three I showed you in the beginning, the Lamy and the Preppy, and a couple of others. I keep them now for sentimental reasons only, because they're my first. I wish I had that Schaefer pen too. I don't necessarily get enjoyment out of using any of them, and I don't know if it's because I've come so far from that point in 2013 where they're not, I don't know, they're just not enjoyable maybe. I don't know. Maybe I will start using maybe the Lamys again. Who knows? Maybe that'll change. All right, question number 7. Do you have a limit on pens or inks in your collection? Is that a number? Is it a feeling? When do you know that you have reached your maximum? Well, maximum, huh? What can I say? I can honestly say that there probably isn't a max number I have in mind about the total number of pens I will allow in my collection. And that said, like I answered in question 3, I am more discerning with my purchases, and I know what I like and what I don't. I don't see me going through the first phase I went through, just buying pens with no real purposeful reason for a purchase other than I want it. And even then, my pen budget always precluded me going overboard, let's say. So what can I say about this question? Maybe it does go back to a feeling, but it's not a conscious feeling or a directive I have. I know that I don't want to have so many pens that months would go by without me using a particular pen. Although that did happen with my Pilot Metropolitan Gold. I saw it when I did that my top 2020. I'm like, I haven't used this, and I used it twice. I used it 2 months running. Plus, now when I do my monthly ink report, it's a way for me to take realistic stock of a pen using my pip sheets and whether I still like it and want it to remain in my collection. That said, I now know, thinking about it now, I now know I will probably be selling my Pelikan Golden Berry. I feel sad, but I just got to figure out how, when, where, and all that jazz. That's okay though. And anyway, this is still a fairly new thing for me and for my collection. It isn't very large at all at the moment, and I kind of like it like that. Maybe in a year, I'll need to revisit these questions in earnest. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, last question. Consequently, I guess this is from 7. What would you do if a pen or ink came along? Well, from all the researching I do online, researching and watching other YouTubers with their pens and inks, the algorithm knows my likes and served me up all the things it thinks I should take a look at. So there is that. So new pens come along, new inks come along all the time. Now, if there's a pen I've been looking at that keeps tickling the back of my mind, I'll go back a few times to look at it in an online store. Check out all the options available. Is it something I want to consider? If that pen won't leave me alone though, because they do that, right? They don't leave you alone. They natter at your brain. I will start to watch videos about the pen to get a feel for how it would operate in my hand. And sometimes, if my pen budget allows, I might pull the trigger. Benu got me that way. Benu got me. I was trying so hard, y'all, not to like that dang glitzy Earl Grey pen, and alas, it was not to be. Me and it are fast friends. Just We love each other. Benu 1, Grace 0. Or come to think of it, Benu 1, Grace 1, because I got the pen after all. Okay, that was 8 pen questions. Let's get to some final thoughts. This was really good to do. Now, just like when I reread some of my journal entries, I think it's good to look back to see where you started and to see how far you've come in your journey. If you have any more questions you'd like me to answer about my pen journey or pens and inks in particular, leave me a comment. I would love to have a chat with you. Anyway, also don't forget to check out the other YouTubers who are doing the 8 pen questions tag. I've left a link in the I left a link to the playlist that Simone and Leanne put together, and I've left a link to the person who came before me on the 8 pens and the person who's after me. Obviously she won't have a link yet because hers is coming tomorrow. It's been really cool to get that insight into other people's pen interests. I've enjoyed watching the videos. So you too, go out and check them out. Go on. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button. You know, that one over there. I think it's over there. Anyway, because the algorithms need to know Grace videos are okay for all to watch. Okay, that's it. That's 8 pen questions. Toodles, y'all. See you in the next video. Wow, a chatty pen video with no actual pens to show. Well, no pen demonstrators. Well, but that was fun.